A two-way frequency table is used when we compare data from two categories. Each category is considered a variable. The two categories are split up into rows for one and columns for the other. Example 1. The chart below compares students who participate in sports or a foreign language. So here we can see that students that take a foreign language and participate in a sport is 14. Students that take a foreign language but do not participate in a sport is 23. So the total number of students that take a foreign language will be 14 plus 23, and that will give us 37. Whoops. The number of students that do not take a foreign language but participate in a sport is 10. The number of students that do not take a foreign language and do not participate in a sport is 3. So the total number of students not taking a foreign language is 13. The total number of students that participate in a sport is 24. And the total number of students that do not participate in the sport is 26. So all I did was add this row together, add this row together. So the sample size is what will happen in this box down here. And no matter if I add this column or if I add this row, I should get the same number. 24 plus 26 is 50. 37 plus 13 is also 50. So 50 is our sample size. That means that 50 students took this survey. Part A says fill in the totals for each category. We just did that. Part B says how many students total are there? Well, that's our sample size, so that's 50. The next question is how many students take a foreign language? So the total for yes for foreign language is 37. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and see if you can answer the other questions that are here. How many students participate in a sport? So sport, yes, that total is 24. How many students who take a foreign language also play in a sport? So yes to foreign language and yes to sport, that's 14. What percentage? So now I want to find a percentage of students play sports. So the total number of students that play sports is 24 out of my total number of students surveyed, which is 50. So we can do that in our calculator. 24 divided by 50 is 0.48. They want it as a percentage. To get a decimal into a percentage, you multiply by 100. And when you do that, you get 48%. The last question says, what percentage of students take a foreign language? So yes to foreign language is 37 students out of a total of the 50 students that were surveyed. So 37 divided by 50 is 0.74. When you multiply that by 100, you're going to get 74%. So this is called a two-way frequency table, and this is a type of information that we can get from a two-way frequency table. Marginal frequencies can be found at the ends of the columns and rows. In this example, the totals at the end are highlighted in gray. So your marginal frequencies will come from these gray boxes. The frequencies in the bottom margin represent the total number of males and females. The frequencies in the right margin represent the total number of club memberships. An example would be of all the students surveyed, so that tells me that we're taking this out of 119, how many are male? So the total number of males is 71. Of the students surveyed, so out of 119 students, what percentage are male? So we said 71 students out of the 119 were male. If you divide this in your calculator and multiply by 100, you'll get 59.7%. Here we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So that means the first decimal place. Using this table right here, I want you to see if you can fill in these two boxes. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. So it says, of the students surveyed, how many are female? So total number of female students is 48. Of the students surveyed, so out of 119 students, what percentage are female? So that's going to be 48 divided by 119. So if I do that in my calculator, and I'm going to multiply by 100 to make it a percentage. And we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So that's going to be 40.3%. Let's try the next one. Of the students surveyed, how many are in band? So the total number of students in band is 33. Of the students surveyed, what percentage are in the band? So that's 33 band students out of 119. So I'll do 33 divided by 119, and then I will multiply by 100. And we get 27.7%. Joint frequencies can be found within the table where a row meets a column. In this example, they are highlighted in gray. So all of these will be joint frequencies. Since a person cannot be in both the male and female categories, the entries in each cell are joint frequencies. An example would be, of all the students surveyed, how many are male and in band? So male and in band is 12. Of the students surveyed, so out of the 119 students that were surveyed, what percentage are male and in band? So the 12 male students that are in band out of the 119 students is 10.1%. So let's look at the next one. Of the students surveyed, how many... Sorry about that. So it says, of the students surveyed, how many are male and in the chess club? So male and in the chess club are 16. Oops. Of the students surveyed, what percentage are male and in chess club? So that's 16 students out of the total number of students surveyed, which is 119. So let me clear this all out. So 16 divided by 119 multiplied by 100 is 13.4%. What I would like you to do is go ahead and pause the video and answer this next question. So, of the students surveyed, how many are female and in the chorus? So, female and in chorus, that's 17 students. Of the students surveyed, what percentage are female and in chorus? So 17 students out of the 119 that were surveyed. So 17 divided by 119. And then if I multiply by 100, I get 14.3%. Remember, when you're rounding, I'm rounding to the nearest tenth. so I have to look at the nearest hundredth. 8 is a number that is 5 or higher, so that tells me to round this number up to a 3. So 14.3%. So far with marginal and joint frequencies, we've always divided by the total number of students surveyed, and that was to get a percentage. Now with conditional frequencies, we might not be dividing by the total number of students. So it's important that you're reading these questions carefully. It says you can find conditional frequencies by dividing a joint frequency by a marginal frequency. An example would be how many of the male participants are in band. So male participants in band is 12. What percentage of male participants? Up until this point, it's always said of the students surveyed. Now I want to know what percentage of male participants. So there are a total of 71 male participants. 12 of those 71 participants are in band. So 12 of the male participants in band divided by the total number of males, which is 71, multiplied by 100 gives us 16.9%. Note a condition, the male participants was given. Therefore, the total is 71 and not 119 people that took the survey. So let's try another one. What percentage, so I'm finding a percent, of male students, so the total number of male students is 71. How many of them participate in chorus? So male and in chorus is 15. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 15 divided by 71, and then I'll multiply that by 100. And I get 21.1%. So again, 15 students are male and in chorus. That's out of 71 males. So 21.1% of the males that were surveyed participate in chorus. What percentage of female students? So now I got to figure out the total number of female students. Female students is 48. Let me use a different color here. What percentage of female students participate in yearbook? So female in yearbook, that's 7. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 7 divided by 48. And I'm going to multiply that by 100. And I'm going to get 14.6%. I got to round this 5 up to a 6 because a number next to it is greater than 5. Next question. What percentage of band students? So now I want the total number of students in band. That's 33. What percentage of band students are male? So 12 male students out of the 33 band students. So 12 divided by 33 multiplied by 100 is 36.4%. Oops. So that means out of all the students that are in band, 33.4% of them are male. What I would like you to do is go ahead and pause the video and answer this next question. The next question says, what percentage of chorus students? So my total number of chorus students is 32, and I want to know how many of them are female. So 17 out of 32 course students are female. So 17 divided by 32, whoops, and then if you multiply that by 100, you're going to get 53.1%. So all four of these examples are conditional frequencies, and that is because they come with a condition. So let's summarize. If you have to find a number inside the table and you divide it by the sample size, that describes something called a joint frequency. A number around the edge of the table divided by the sample size describes a marginal frequency. A joint frequency divided by a marginal frequency describes conditional frequency.